Hello, Frontstretch fans. Welcome back to another sit-down interview with a short track driver. First time we've ever done it over Zoom. We've got Treyten Lapcevich with us this evening, former Canada Series champion, defending South Carolina 400 winner, and most recently an ARCA Menard Series winner at Berlin Raceway. So congratulations, first of all. Um,
Yeah,
Treyten, I just want to start there. What was that whole weekend like? Because you get to run the car with Nitro, and then you lead flag to flag. You get your first ARCA win, and their first win as a race team.
yeah, it was pretty cool. It was a deal that came together really quick. To begin with, it was only about the week before that I kind of found out that I was going to be driving. So really, really thankful for that opportunity. But yeah, we got to the track and just a really good race car right off the trailer. We just kind of fine tuned on it in practice. It was pretty good. We didn't mock up or anything in practice. Just kind of focused on race runs. And we knew that we had a pretty good piece. We just needed to, make those fine tuning adjustments. And Shannon Rush and the whole Nitro Motorsports team were really a pleasure to work with, and they were really able to get that car dialed in. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. I felt good going in. Like I felt like we were going to be competitive. There was no doubt about that. I probably wouldn't have thought that we were going to set it on the pole and lead all 200 laps and win like we did, but it just a really good race car, and everything kind of went our way.
So you ran Money in the Bank prior to that. Did you know you were going to run the ARCA race when you were there for the Supers race?
I didn't know for sure. I knew that there was kind of a possibility that it could happen. We had planned to run that race no matter what. We ran the battle at Berlin last August, and we had a really good time. It was kind of a rough one for us because we showed up with completely the wrong motor package and all that, just not knowing Berlin and what it was. It's funny because it reminds me a lot of Florence in the sense that everyone tells you going in that there's no grip and there's no bite, and you're like, it's no way it's that bad, and it is really that bad. So yeah, we planned to get back there with the super light model, bring a different package, and just have some fun because it really is an awesome track. And yeah, just so happened to be it probably helped prepare me for that ARCA race as well.
So Florence, Berlin, both seem to be in your wheelhouse. You picked up two big wins at those racetracks. So you've run two ARCA races this year. You got a first and a third. Has that led to any opportunities brewing down the line, maybe this year or next season?
Yeah, I mean, the opportunities are there. Um, it's just kind of like how our sport is now, though, right? Like, the opportunities are probably better than I've ever had them before, and they're cheaper than they ever have been, but it's still a lot of money. It's just kind of it's how it is. So no one's knocking on the door saying that they got a free ride, and we're not really expecting that either. But I've been really lucky to have the partners that I have. Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, they made both of these ARCA starts happen. Evram's been, along with me all last year and this year as well. So, really thankful to have those guys. Just kind of, that it's a little different this year, not having like a set schedule or a set plan on what we're going to do, not racing anything full time, but we're just kind of hitting what we can. If more opportunities come to drive, it'd be really nice, and I love that. But it's a tough one for sure. It's just kind of how it all rolls.
So you raced the card store full time last year, but like you said, this year the way things worked out, you don't have a set schedule. So what have you been doing this season?
Yeah, man, I've raced like probably five or six different cars now this year already. I ran some Pro Late races up here in Canada. I was driving the Zero car, which is owned by Glenn Stires, also one of my supporters for quite a while too. And he's got a lot of race cars here, so he lets me drive him when he's driving another car. So I ran a couple of the APC races. Had a lot of fun doing that. And then we had our own car out, which was actually a super late model just about a month ago, and then it was right before we decided to run that Money in the Bank race there. We actually convert. Actually, no, it was before that a Wasso race, the CRA race. We converted to a pro late as well, and that's my family owned car. So did some racing in that as well. Yeah, did the ARCA stuff. I'm actually running Outlaw Super Late model this weekend. I drove another guy's pro late too. Just It's kind of been a different car about every weekend at this point, but I've still been staying in the seat quite a bit, which is nice. And just I've got a lot of people that are helping me a lot right now. Given the fact that we don't have a full-time schedule, and just really thankful to have those opportunities. Taylor Holdaway, Glenn Stires, my dad. Bobby Blunt this weekend. He's given me an opportunity in one of his cars. So just a lot of really special people making it happen.
So, no, ideally, you'd like to have a set schedule and a series somewhere to run, but having the freedom, like you do this year, to kind of pick and choose what you want to focus on when you have an opportunity, has there been anything fun in that, like the freedom to go where you want in a way?
Well, that's maybe a little bit part of it, but the best thing about it is that there's no pressure really when we show up anywhere. It's like, obviously we want to win. Like, we show up to a racetrack, we're not gunning for second or gunning for third. We're gunning for the win, but at the same time, we're not points racing or nothing like that. We're probably a lot of the time we're not even racing these guys the next weekend. So it's like we show up, there's no pressure. I'm racing with the people that I grew up racing with again. It's a lot of the crew guys that I had when I was running late models when I was 13, 14 years old. So we're having a lot of fun doing it, and that's the cool piece about it. There hasn't been a time where we've went to the racetrack and not had fun this year. Whether it was a good night or not on the track. So that's a lot of it. And then I was working in the shop quite a lot too with my brother and my dad, and that stuff's fun too. So it's what I grew up doing, and to get back to that. Not that I wasn't working in the shop last year. I was actually living in Hickory and working in the shop full time, but just doing it with my family again. That's a special part of it.
Jared Haas with Frontstretch.com. Come back more for some great racing video content. And if you like us, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.